Imagine you send an important message. Maybe it's about work. Maybe it's about something personal. Minutes pass, then hours. There's still no reply. At first you assume everything is normal, but slowly something begins happening inside your mind. Your brain starts generating possibilities. Maybe they're busy, maybe they didn't see the message, but then another thought appears. What if I said something wrong? What if they're upset? And before long, your mind begins imagining the worst possible outcome. Why does the brain do this? Why does the mind often jump toward worst-case scenarios, even when there's no clear evidence of danger? To understand this, we need to look at one of the brain's most important survival systems: prediction. The human brain is constantly trying to anticipate the future. Every moment, neural networks are generating models of what might happen next. These predictions allow the brain to prepare actions, conserve energy, and respond quickly to potential threats. But here's where it gets interesting. The brain evolved in environments where uncertainty could be dangerous. If early humans ignored possible threats, the consequences could be severe. A hidden predator, a rival group, a dangerous change in the environment. So the brain developed a strategy. When the future is uncertain, imagine possible risks. This system is sometimes called defensive simulation. The brain runs internal scenarios to prepare for potential problems, but the brain doesn't simulate all outcomes equally. Negative possibilities often receive more attention, and this happens because of a key structure deep in the brain: the amygdala. The amygdala helps detect signals that might indicate danger. When uncertainty appears, the amygdala can activate networks involved in vigilance and threat evaluation. But the brain does something even more interesting. Another region called the prefrontal cortex begins constructing possible scenarios. This region is responsible for planning, reasoning, and imagining future events. Together, these systems allow the brain to simulate possible futures. What might happen tomorrow? What might go wrong? What should I prepare for? This ability to mentally explore possible outcomes is one of the most powerful cognitive tools humans possess. It allows us to plan, to anticipate challenges, to prepare solutions before problems appear. But there's a side effect. The same system that allows humans to plan the future can also imagine negative possibilities that may never happen. And this leads to an unexpected effect. When the brain encounters uncertainty, it often explores worst-case outcomes first. From an evolutionary perspective, this strategy makes sense. If you prepare for the worst, you are less likely to be caught off guard. Early humans who anticipated danger had a higher chance of surviving unpredictable environments. But the brain doesn't stop there. Once a possible negative scenario appears, attention systems begin focusing on it. The brain analyzes the scenario in detail. What caused it? How likely is it? How could it be prevented? This process can create the feeling that negative outcomes are more probable than they actually are. But here's where the story becomes important. The brain is not trying to make you anxious. It is trying to protect you. Worst-case scenario thinking is part of the brain's preparation system. It helps the brain rehearse possible responses. It helps the brain detect early warning signals. And sometimes it helps the brain avoid real danger. But in modern environments, this system can become overactive. Instead of preparing for physical threats, the brain begins analyzing social situations, future plans, and uncertain outcomes. The brain continues running defensive simulations even when the actual risk is small. Once you understand this mechanism, something fascinating becomes clear. Worst-case thinking is not irrational. It is the result of a brain designed to anticipate danger in uncertain environments. Your brain is constantly trying to answer one question: what could go wrong? And how should I prepare? By the way, if you're interested in understanding how the brain and body actually work, this channel explores the science behind those systems. Many everyday mental experiences become much easier to understand when we examine the biological mechanisms behind them. And the brain's tendency to imagine worst-case scenarios is one of the most powerful examples. Your brain is not trying to make life more stressful. It is simply running the survival simulations that helped humans navigate an unpredictable world. Vera, Human, explains the science behind how the human system works. Subscribe if you're curious about the biology of being human.